What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, beloveds. And obviously this is a channel about all things conversations. It can go light, can go deep, but usually it goes deep because ke motho le depth, ke rata depth hle. So anyway, yeah, welcome back to my channel. For those that continue to just come back, and those that are new, may you like me and be like, okay, this girl, okay, I see her, okay. I'm just gonna stay, and I'm actually going to subscribe so that when she brings something new, I'm able to watch it. We are just going to address something I've been noticing even on Twitter and all of these platforms, right, that black people tend to do, even in our personal lives. Why do we feel like nothing is good enough for us, to a point where we have to romanticize and glamorize struggle? Guys, why do we do that? Can we understand ourselves as a nation? I'm talking to a Bantu nation right now, because I've seen that happening a lot in the black community, where it is not okay for you to have been raised by both parents, and there's a need for people to remind you that you might lose your parents at any day, or there are people that remind you that you better be grateful that you have both parents. Like, this is a design, this is God's design. So you are saying that I must be scared that I have what God has designed for me to have, and if I have it, then it's something that I should always be at the back of my head, be afraid of losing. And if I don't have it, then it's like, woo, yes, badge of blackness when you are in a one-parent household, or if you're a single mom and you're going through so many things, that's like, yes, black girl, you can do it. It's so confusing. I've seen it a lot on Twitter, and I've seen it a lot in my life, in relationships, where I would literally be with someone, date someone, and if I struggle with my car, or if I struggle with something, and I would tell them that, let me call my dad. And I'm saying that because they are not availing themselves. They are like, oh, shame, And I'm like, it's fine, let me call my dad. Someone literally said, you know what, Wena? When your dad passes away, you are going to struggle. And in my head, I'm like, so I'm supposed to prove that I'm human and I'm having a human experience by the fact that I need right now, I'm on the road, I'm stranded. I shouldn't call my dad, because that is not a characteristic of a black person. A black woman must stand on the side of the road and ask for this and ask for that, or put themselves in jeopardy, so that I can prove that, you know what, I'm ready to be a black person on human earth, on this here earth. Like, guys, can we please stop that? Can we please stop, or can we question the projection? Can we question why it makes us uncomfortable for other people not to struggle? Why do we have to always anticipate something happening to their lives so that they can feel like they are having this experience? Is it not what breaking generational curses is all about? Like, there are people that are mad that I have, even on Twitter, someone was talking about downgrading, and they spoke about, I've left my wife left me, and I went through so much in terms of jobs and whatever, and I'm downgrading right now. I'm going back home. Like, so many people were letting him know how much of a failure is the fact that he has a home to go back to, as a man who's going there to actually gather his strength. Times are tough. But people, instead of saying kudos to you for actually not letting your ego lead you to a place where you probably would even be doing illegal things so that you can keep up with this image that society wants you to keep, instead of saying that, people were actually literally on his back to say that, I would never, at the age of 40, I would never go. Like, I don't know if it's a poverty mindset as well, because what I've noticed is that people, let's say, for example, Mam Keys has a mansion, right? She's got East Wing, West Wing, and all of those things. And there are people that society thinks now they are off age, right? They need to move out. They still live in in Mam Kize's house. So it's like, okay, this is only reserved for certain races, because Indians, Japanese or Koreans or Chinese, they don't have those problems. They live with their parents up until a certain age, even to a point where they don't move out because they are taking care of them, the elderly in the home. Some even bring their families. They get married and there's like 3 or 4 families living in that huge home. So is it a poverty mindset, or is it projection that you feel like when you lacked it, so everyone else must lack it? The very same way, you know, with parents that like when you grew up, you were cleaning 3 o'clock in the morning, you were scrubbing this, you were scrubbing that, and you were hand washing. Right now, we're in a point where we are privileged enough with all these advancements, right? And our children can take their clothes and put them in the laundry machine, washing machine. But because your mindset is still a struggle mindset, and because you went through certain things, you now want to still make your children go through that. Good to know you are not going to, that's my washing machine, I'm going to use it whenever I want to, or when I think everyone must use it. In the meantime, everyone else in this house must hand wash. When the helper that has come here into this house, he did not come to clean your windows and clean your room. You must clean your room. I understand the basics of having to survive, right? We all need to learn that. We all need to know how to sweep, how to mop the floors, to wash the dishes. Even today, my children wash dishes. My children wash their socks and stuff like that. However, if there are things that can go into the laundry machine, let them go in there. But there are people that have such a struggle mindset, and that like to glorify struggle so much that they even don't realize that their children have a potential of doing other things instead of occupying themselves with this thing that really doesn't really matter. But when it's like, I went through it, everyone else must go through it. So I don't know what's going on. Can we discuss this? Even today, there are people that are worried with the fact that I lost whatever I lost in my life, and I don't look like the struggles that I'm going through. So it's like I need to show that I'm going through it so that it is believable. For me, it's like, do you even believe God exists? Do you even believe that God can provide for you? When you are constantly making me aware that I should be afraid for being in a state of peace. There are people that are saying to me, Wuti, I don't know, Wuti, when your dad passes on, what's going to happen? Like my mom passed on, and she's instilled so many things in my life that I still continue to live by, even today. But imagine if in that time, every time we went out, every time we did certain things, there was always this voice that's like, she's going to leave you and I don't know where you're going to. Am I not supposed to have a supportive father? Am I not supposed to have a loving mother? Was I not supposed to have those things that I have, so that it proves to you guys that at least you are well equipped for the struggle of this earth? Struggles are relative. There are people that would cry. There's an interview that I saw, Nandi Matitane, and she was speaking, because I think it was a long time ago. I think it was Nandi or Mini Dlamini. So Anele Mdota was asking her what was the most, something that she struggled with, and something about those, the most horrible season or something. And she mentioned Wuti, something tragic happened to me. She was by, I think Beyers Naudé, which one? William Nicol. She was by William Nicol, and her car broke down and she couldn't get hold of her father and all of that. I just laughed, but it was a while ago, years ago. Maybe it is still on YouTube. While when Anele Mdota had a talk show that time. And in my head, I'm like, imagine her speaking about something so tragic, and she's talking about a car on the side of the road, and she couldn't get home and she was distraught. So I'm like, that is her struggle, because her parents decided that they will give her a certain life, and for her that is an identification of a struggle. She doesn't have ukuthi ayohlala emikhukhwini for her to be identified as someone that is struggling. Do you understand? So that's what I'm saying. Why does it have to look a certain way for someone to say they're struggling? And number two, is that not the reason why we are working so hard to break these ties, these generational mishaps, so that we don't find ourselves in situations where we are struggling? So if, for example, your parents decided, you know what, I'm seeing the pattern in this bloodline where people maybe are not homeowners, and you decide, you're like, nope, Mina, my children are not going to go through this. I'm going to build a home for my children. That even I'm going to make it a family home so that they enjoy their families, their children, their children's children. It becomes a family home. Even if they get their own homes, but they know that there is a home to come back to. Whether they come back from a divorce, whether they come back from this or this, and they know that they can retreat here and it's peaceful and no one is fighting. There's nothing that is fighting because it is only for this bloodline type of thing. It is only for my seed. I'll make an example. And then, because someone decided to change and cut these generational mishaps that they see, someone comes and makes you feel bad that your parents or you have decided to change the direction of your generational lineage or whatever. So what should happen? What must can happen? We're not supposed to be normalizing the fact that our children are not struggling. Are we not supposed to be normalizing the fact that life is getting better? There are struggles that our children will not be a part of in the next generation. So the fact that we want to impose, or we are actually mad that they are not going through that, our own children, like how crazy is that? How crazy is that mindset? How crazy is that stronghold that you are actually minimizing God's work in your life? You don't even believe that God can do something without you lifting a finger. You don't even believe that for your children, with you, I've suffered so much, I've gone through so much, and I'm seeing the fruits of my labor. Or I'm seeing that my children are having an ease in their life because of God's goodness in mine. And I know that those are the things that He has brought me through. And then I'm seeing now how easier it is for them. But no, when are you like, no, God, people must struggle so that they can see God. Ushuguti, when you are saying to yourself, if there's no hardship, if there's no level of hardship, then Mina, I'm not going to feel like God's favor is upon me. It's the very same thing with opportunities. There are people that would not take opportunities because they feel like, no, I did not work for this. Like there was no struggle, there was no hardship, so this can't come from God. When we pray for favor, when we pray for open doors, are you believing what you are praying for? When we are praying for ease, when we are praying against, remember the vagabond spirit and the Cain spirit, where God said that the ground will actually work against you. So that means it's actually not a good thing for you to struggle. It's not a good thing for the ground to actually fight against you each and every time you want to do something. But Tina, we want that Cain thing. We don't want to be living in Eden where things are just like flowing, things are smooth. When you knock on this door, yes, the one that God doesn't want you to enter into, He will make sure that you are not stepping in there. But the one that is opened, like when it's just too good to be true, you anticipate failure. When you are too happy, hey, something bad is going to happen. Should I now not be comfortable with the fact that I actually have somewhere where I can retreat, and then when things become fine, then I pick up again? I have to always be scared, Wuti. I'm here and something is gonna happen. Why am I not living in what God has promised me? Why am I not living and being grateful for the work and reflecting for the work that my parents or my parents' parents, my ancestors did, so that I am in this position right now? Manje mina mele ngifela ukuthi ngine peace. The children that grew up in private schools and have had networks, excellent networks, and have been positioned for success in life, Now they must feel bad that their parents did that for them. When they receive opportunities, it's like you don't deserve it because you don't know what it is to struggle. What is going on with us? Are we that much? It also boils down to ego, honestly. Because it's literally like, I'm my own God. I cannot believe that God can do something. I cannot believe what I am praying to God for. And at the same time, no one else, you are playing God in other people's lives. No one else can experience peace, ease, deliverance from generational curses if I have not gone through that. Guys, if there's anything or anyone that actually believed that about themselves or can see that pattern with you, I used to actually be the one that said that with you. When you should, just because someone else is just experiencing ease in their life, don't make them feel like they need to always anticipate struggle. Struggle will come. Struggle is a part of life. But you can never, when it's my time of sun or when I'm choosing to have sun, because that is also a choice each and every day to have joy, each and every day to go through something, but you are choosing to still be nice to people. You are choosing to still pray for people. You are still choosing Christ-like, Christ consciousness, where you are choosing grace, you are choosing mercy, you are choosing the fruits of the Spirit, you are choosing to speak life into your situation, you are still choosing to help other people, you are still choosing to pray for other people that are doing better than you in life. So I must now feel like, no, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. I need to struggle. I need to have heart. I need to be that black woman where I don't receive support from anyone. I need to be that person. I mean, I was even judged for, there was a point I was in a toxic relationship and my son, I think, was going to grade R or something like that. And me, now you remember when I told you about my testimony, not my testimony, but like when I spoke about, I used to just get jobs like this. So I used to be that person when I would just apply for a job and play. And then if they say they increase 1,000, 1,500, I'm gone. So I would go and then I would go live wherever next to where I work. And I would go. So my dad, number one, you were in a toxic relationship with this guy. Number two, you keep moving and hopping because so that is unstable for my grandson. Then my dad was like, no, because he's gonna start grade 1 next year and this is not what he needs. So my dad fetched my son and was like, well, now when you've got your stuff sorted out, you can come. I'm gonna take him and at least stability from my side, So I was like, okay. Oh, a mother who does not struggle with her son, who's going through all these things. No one is actually saying, "But you are going through this, what's going on?" No, it was, how dare you take your son where there's no woman that can take care of your son, your son there. Not realizing that from the age of 15, I'm in my 30s now. My dad, from before black, obviously the times when I was from 15 to my first year in tertiary, he took care of us, myself and my brothers. So they failed to realize that my dad is that responsible. And this is a boy child. And there are my brothers that are his uncles that can actually, it was taboo. So for them, it was like, no, you must go through this toxic relationship. And someone that says they can assist you, they should not assist you. You must go through this so that you can. Black card. In the meantime, my son is witnessing whatever. And yes, I obviously, it was my fault. I mean, hello. But if someone says, get out, let me get this out of the situation, while a grown person doesn't want or doesn't feel like they need to get out of the situation right now, but let me save the other things. So the fact that someone was that considerate in my life was a problem. It was not a problem to men, it was a problem to women, to mothers. So that is what I'm speaking about. Can we come back? Can we actually renew our minds? Can we repent from thinking that God is not able to give us ease here? In the land of the living, we are supposed to live good lives that are abundant, where everything is just, you understand? So let us come back to that. And even if there was an ego or a point of ego in your life where you thought you needed your own strength each and every time to do things, and when other people don't apply and push the same strength and rely on God's strength, you found it problematic, come back and remember that God is your source. Come back, that it is not your might, not your power, but by His Spirit. He's the Lord God Almighty. He's your strength. Come back. Come back so that you don't bleed and project on other people, so that you don't belittle God's work in other people, so that you don't curse with your words. Should this happen, I can't wait for this to happen. That is witchcraft. That is casting a spell. You are anticipating another person's fall and downfall. Come back. Come back and ask for forgiveness from God, that I wanted to play God in people's lives by the way I spoke into their lives, by the way I projected, instead of healing, instead of doing better, instead of looking at me now, what can I do better so that my children can also be in that space where things are a little better for them, so that I'm not mad at them when life gives them opportunities that I did not get. Let's do better. Women especially. Let us stop romanticizing struggle, especially as a black people, because we don't see it a lot in these other races, but we somehow feel like it is a burden that we are supposed to carry on our shoulders, a badge of honor. There's nothing honorable about struggling. There is nothing honorable about it. Let's do better. Catch you guys next time. Thank you for watching. May you please comment